Previously, this is the lowest mileage Mark II Golf that I have ever seen, and it's mine. In my last video, I replaced the clutch in my old Golf to see if I could fix this annoying jerking problem. The problem was, once I put the transmission back on, it seemed like the clutch cable wasn't exactly right. Now this had me really worried because if I did something wrong, the transmission would have to come back off, and it took me like 6 days to get there. God, if I have to take this transmission off again, I'm gonna lose it. I don't know what to do. Everything was done right. See, this is where it gets weird, because I genuinely have no idea.
You need me to keep recording?
No, thank you. Do you ever feel like you're not really worth it? Mrs. Przowski always said I would grow up to be trouble. Maybe my second grade guidance counselor was right. I really did amount to nothing. Buy a project car, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Here's the thing about an old car with crazy low mileage. No one ever drove it. All of the seals and plastic and trims and molding just fall apart over time if you don't get it up to operating temperature or use it or maintain it. I might be a little bit jaded from personal experience, but trust me when I say that old cars, or any car for that matter, do not sit well. As far as I'm aware, this very well may be the lowest mileage Mark II Golf in the country. Honestly, that was the whole reason I bought the thing, because at the time I didn't have any affinity for Golfs or even Volkswagen for that matter, but the mileage was just so cool. It's like a time capsule on the inside. I was not alone in that sentiment, because there were over 200 people interested in this car, and I was super fortunate to be able to swoop in and pick it up for just a measly $2,000. At the time, it seemed like a good deal. That was certainly one of the most exciting moments of my life. This is a big step for me, buying a car with my own money. It's like a hero's journey, standing at the foot of a mountain. And here we are, $10,000 later, right back where we started. An old, rusty car that doesn't drive. So, what do? Well, get back to work, I suppose. Okay, it's just me today. Camera operator couldn't make it. I'm wondering if the transmission isn't actually properly torqued to the engine. Maybe there's a tiny bit of gap that I just can't see, and it's causing all sorts of problems. Everything's tight as can be. This still ain't right. Yeesh. Running out of options, I decided to go ahead and check the thrust bearing and the push rod. Both of these are directly responsible for pushing down on the clutch plate, and they were perfectly fine. I don't know what to do. This is a headbanger, because the issue was after we replaced the clutch, even with this manual clutch cable all the way extended, there was still too much play. So you don't want there to be too much vertical play like this. So what I ended up doing was, because I replaced the engine mount, I had some free bushing material lying around. And so I cut out 2 circles, stacked them on top of each other, and I'm using them as sort of redneck bushings, so that now you have roughly this right amount of play. It's below this white thing. So see how there's all that rubber in there? Yeah. So now it has the right amount of play. Have you ever heard the expression, there's no solution more permanent than a temporary one? Yeah, we'll get into that later. Now that I somewhat conquered my clutch cable problem, I decided to go ahead and put the rest of the car together. Oh my God. Now before I just blast out of this garage, I have to make sure that the car is going to make it okay. Part of that includes just running the car in the air with the wheels spinning to make sure that nothing's dragging or grinding. It's in first. I do not know. Uh-oh. Now that noise we were just hearing sounds just like CV axles being out of whack, so I went under the car to tighten them up. And lo and behold, they were loose. Ready for round 2? Yeah. Here's first. What the fuck? What? David had the idea to go ahead and put a load on the front wheels. That way we'd know that if the CV axles were just at a sharp angle, that would be what the problem is. All right. Keep on. Slowly letting it out. Yeah. Sweet. Air bump. Do you hear that noise as the clutch engages? It's just new clutch noise. I have good news.
What?
The Golf is currently parked next to the GTI.
Oh my god. It's so exciting.
Okay, I know what you're wondering. Is the jerking fixed? Well, without further ado... 3, 2, 1. Why do I keep doing this? Something you gotta understand about working on cars is that you're constantly gaslighting yourself into believing that all the time and money you've spent working on the car is worth it. And you know what? In this case, the car does drive a lot better. The clutch is much lighter and easier to drive overall. Plus, we had to do this job anyway considering how much the rear main seal was leaking, so it's really difficult to say whether or not the job was worth it. Something I can tell you is knowing that the clutch is likely going to outlive the car at this point is actually pretty nice to have. It's one less thing you have to worry about in the future, and when you go to sell the car, it's just another bullet point you can put on your very long list of items you've done to the car. Can I get a Big Mac with fries? Wait a minute, isn't the car still broken? I mean, I did sulk over it for 2 months, so... Plus, the clutch cable is still held together by scrap. I mean, I suppose the last thing I could do is to just go ahead and replace the clutch cable itself, but I don't know. Wish me luck. Right, so about that clutch cable problem. See this end? This is where the clutch pedal goes, and as you push down on the clutch pedal, you pull down on this wire here, which inversely pulls up on this thing. And that pulls up a lever which pushes down on the clutch. Does that make sense? Oh, what the hell? Jesus, this thing just shocked me. Well, I managed to get it out, even though I broke my back, but they look the same. I mean, I'm gonna install the new one anyway, but not sure if it's gonna do anything. Do you see that? Do you see? Do you see? Do you see how this... It works! Moment of truth. Let's feel that clutch pedal. It's perfect. Oh. Oh! I mean, I hate to do them dirty like this, but Parts Geek, you guys suck dick. So, what's next for Yankel? Well, I figure we should leave the jerking for another time, but for now, we should really tackle the cosmetic side of things. I mean, look at that rust, and that paint, and that dent. My last video was a little bit of an experiment to see what would happen if I put a lot of effort into making a video that not only I would like, but potentially others would like as well. And I gotta say, I am beyond excited with how well the video has been doing. Now, don't get me wrong, all the performance numbers, analytics that have gone on with that video, those are all rounding errors for even a small creator, but it's incredibly rewarding to see that something I made and something that I really do reflect as my personality is being enjoyed by thousands of people out there. So especially to those of you who interacted with the video, like, comment, subscribe, whatever, thank you. It means the world to me. Please go ahead and check out my Patreon page. That's right, baby, I'm gonna beg for your money. It's just super fun to be able to upload on YouTube and like get comments at 2 a.m. trying to help me troubleshoot my broken car. It's awesome. So thanks guys, bye. That was the best one. Whoa, you see that? Was that on camera?
Hello? Yes, hello, open door.
Oh, hello, traveler. Would you like to browse my wares? Oh, wait.